Hello, I would like to explain why my refutation on why Common Core should be abandoned. And my first point is that Common Core gives every student an equal opportunity to learn. My first supporting claim is that because the Common Core state standards stress on each state learning the same skills throughout the year, Susan Rakow, who's in the Association for Middle Level Education, states that this Common Core will be beneficial for students in our increasingly mobile society. A student who moves from the 7th grade in Toledo, Ohio to 7th grade in Omaha, Nebraska, or Syosset, New York, may not have to adjust to new learning expectations. Now, with that in mind, every student who moves around the country does not have to be behind when they move to a new school. Instead of trying to catch up, they're just going to be picking off where they left behind at their previous school. And my second supporting claim is that students go to school to have an opportunity to learn, obviously, and it is really unfair to students who receive less attention in classrooms than other students, as we all have experienced beforehand. In Old Standards versus Common Core, a side-by-side comparison in ELA, we were clearly educating some kids to only be able to fill in bubbles, while we were educating other children to be able to write coherent, argumentative text. Rookin Santelici states, advocates hope the Common Core will change that, raising expectation and outcomes for all students. But then the affirmative might have mentioned that some kids can't keep up. Well, that's why Common Core introduced the Smarter Balanced Assessment. The Smarter Balanced Assessment is a standardized test consortium, and it creates Common Core state standards online tests, usually adaptive online exams, to be used in several states. It uses automated essay scoring. Now, which can also give students an equal advantage because the Smarter Balanced System, according to the Old Standards versus Common Core side-by-side comparison, the Smarter Balanced Assessment has similar tools, including a read aloud option, on-screen highlighters, glossaries, and access to a digital notepad. Experts expect students who may have been embarrassed to be seen using similar resources on paper and pencil tests will feel less constrained with the greater privacy of working on their own computers. Common Core can also help students not feel embarrassed. As we all experienced beforehand, we felt too embarrassed to raise our hand in class because we don't want other fellow students to be judging us. Therefore, Common Core can help students in an indirect way, asking questions to one another through collaborative thinking and discussions. And moves on to my second point, Common Core can also help teachers as well. Susan Rakow in the Common Core, The Good, the Bad, and the Possible states that teachers across the nation could work together to develop creative and engaging integrated lessons and units to share using cutting-edge technology and e-tools. My first supporting claim for that stance is that teachers can now interact with students and also fellow colleagues. In Donna Bryson's Common Core in the UC Berkeley Graduate School of Education, Mamadi, a teacher, states that it seems like it's an opportunity. Common Core has definitely given me language in which to talk to other teachers. Now, teachers also do not have to worry about what other teachers are teaching because Common Core, every teacher will most likely in that subject be teaching the same thing around the whole year. And Common Core can also help teachers reduce the content they teach and focus on the ones that are more important. Evan Stone, in How Common Core Helps Teachers in the New York Post, states that when I taught 6th grade, I used to have to teach 127 unique math standards or topics, but now I'd be able to focus on 27 standards, giving me the time needed to make sure all of my students understood the underlying concepts. Which also leads to Alan Schoenfield in the Berkeley blog, stating that mathematical practices, you can think of the content as a set of tools, the things you do mathematics with. The practices emphasize problem solving, reasoning mathematically, and applying mathematical knowledge to solve real world problems, which also we all have heard before, when will I use this in real life? That, with Common Core, obviously it will teach you how to use things you learn in school in the real world. And to my third point, Common Core can prepare students for college. Common Core being more of an advanced setting to most schools is probably the closest thing to college material for high school students. Now, Ashley A. Smith wrote in Colleges Begin to Take Notice of Common Core, stating that Tony Alpert, an executive director of Smarter Balance, said in an email, "This is a game changer. In the past, most states had no linkage to higher education. Smarter Balance has worked with states in higher education to give meaning to high school exams." which also leads to my other point that two colleges in Colorado and the members of the Illinois Council of Community College Presidents are using the Common Core-based PARCC exam, also known as the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers, to evaluate college readiness. Now, which leads to my fourth and final point, that Common Core gives students opportunities to use their brains rather than to learn tricks to take a test. Now, my supporting claim is that Donna Bryson in the UC Berkeley Graduate School of Education states that Alan Krasnow, who was also a alumni, so she was in the class of 1999, had a chance to see the new test, what the new test will be like as part of preparing for Common Core. They're not the straightforward multiple choice tests, said Krasnow, who with 14 years in the classroom behind her might be expected to be wary of promises of reform. But she is enthusiastic about Common Core. Now, what the past affirmative said, how they never tested if Common Core can be effective, they actually took some people and who were used to the old curriculum way, and from judging now, I guess it worked. So, and my last stance is Kathy G. Short in the Common Core State Standards, Misunderstandings and Response in Close Reading, states that the assumption of the writers of the standards is that reader response does not include text analysis and stays at a simple level of personal connections that does not lead to critical thinking. Although reader response does begin with personal connections and interpretations, readers are then encouraged to move into an analysis of the responses through dialogue based on evidence from their lives and text to develop their interpretations, which leads to students, I would say it is more easier writing an essay about your personal life, trying to blend that into the writing prompt rather than trying to look at a textbook and trying to fill up the word count and everything. And with that, I would like
Time.